Okay, here's the before video. Okay, it's literally just a little foam ball. Nothing else. A little foam ball that you're gonna have to stick. It comes with like a needle type thing. You puncture a hole in it, and then you're gonna thread the string through it. So after using the needle to thread it through, it'll end up somehow like this. You can only use this with ball end strings, and you can't use it with fine tuners. Okay, so I just put one on and I put it on the D string, and I do hear a difference. So my D string versus it sounds, I think it sounds more louder, more ringing and more resonant than especially the A string. So now I'm going to put it on the G and C. Okay, so now I have them on my G and D string on violin. I definitely feel like it's louder, but I would say 5 to 10%. It's not like a 50% thing. And more ringing. And I can feel it. I don't have one on my A. I can feel the switch. To me, it feels like when you put, a good set of brand new strings on, how like right in the beginning, they're just sort of more alive. That's what I feel like it is. It's not going to make your violin sound like, it's, a drastically different instrument, but I do hear that. I'm not going to put them on my A and E because I have fine tuners on there. I know, completely unorthodox. Whatever, just makes it easier. And I don't know if I would recommend for a student. I have no idea what these cost. I would say if they're more than like 20 bucks, I would just put the extra money into better strings. I'm not sure if I would recommend for my students because I'm a big fan of fine tuners for my students up until they get pretty advanced. I know, but my theory is that they're going to have much greater chance to play really, really well in tune if they can get their strings easily, perfectly in tune with little hands. And that supersedes the slight dampening of the tone that the fine tuners give. But anyway, I mean, it's worth a shot. I wouldn't put them on an electric instrument because that would just create more resonance, which is really don't want any extra vibrating. Yeah, I think to get the full effect, you'd have to have it on every string, which would mean you could not have a fine tuner on your E string. So there you have it. Oh, and I have to say one other thing. The ad suggests somehow that these things help you play the violin easier. I do not think the difference is going to be at all noticeable for a young beginner or just barely, and it's definitely not going to make learning violin in the first 8 to 10 years any easier. I mean, the difference it makes would be the difference that a very advanced or professional player would notice. So I decided, since I only put 2 on my violin, I'm going to put the other 2 on my viola. Just what the hey. I use fine tuners on my viola too, so I'm going to just put them on the C and the G. So here's the before the viola. Okay, here's the after of the viola. Again, I only have on the C and the G. I do think, like I said, it did make it more resonant. Of course, I'm shortchanging the product by only putting it on 2 of the strings. So I would guess if I did it correct, did it what they said. I'm not taking my E string fine tuner off or my A string, so oh well. I don't know how practical that is. Again, I feel like it's about a 10% addition, kind of like if you just put on brand new strings. I will say this, I think, just as an addendum, I think they could be helpful for a very young student playing a fractional violin, playing advanced repertoire. So like a student playing Bruch Concerto on a half-size violin, if you're kind of always fighting for, a bigger sound, but you don't want to increase the violin size. I mean, could a 10% addition help? Probably in that case.